Alrighty guys, so good morning or afternoon. I don't know what time it is. I think it's about noon. So I guess you can take either one. So yeah, so actually had an off day today. So I am actually going to be taking the boat to get washed because it's getting very dirty, at least dirty for me, in my interpretation of it. So yeah, she needs a wash pretty bad. So I'm going to take her to the car wash, kind of show you the chemicals that I use for it. And how I do it is basically just two main chemicals that I'm using, and I'll kind of show you guys that when I get to the car wash. But yeah, the boat, I mean, I don't know how well you can tell, but it's starting to get like quite a bit of yellowing from the water, and definitely starting to get just some, you know, just some black marks. So I just want to go through and, you know, try and clean as much of the stuff off as I can. I did notice this the other day. So all those damn stumps I keep hitting, so it looks like I finally see some marks. Let's see if you can see that, but got some marks from when I hit some stumps, but no damage. It's just a mark, so it's nothing really bad with it. But yeah, I just want to take this to go get cleaned up real quick. She's in desperate need of a wash. I know people still tell me, man, my boat's really clean, but for me, yeah, it's not. She needs a lot of work, especially on the inside. On the inside, I don't know how well you can see, but that's not even the whitest that it gets, but you can see how brown it is. And even with me taking it to a car wash, if I just put a pressure washer to this, this doesn't come off because I already tried. And this is white, but it'll get whiter than that. So I go through. I got some stains already in there. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm basically gonna take the stuff I have out of the compartments, out from here, and then I'll probably just leave it in my boat storage, so then I can just take this to the car wash and get her sprayed down pretty good. But yeah, she definitely needs a wash, because she's looking pretty bad, looking pretty rough. So I'll kind of show you how I have some of my stuff stored in my storage. So just give me a minute. Alright guys, yeah, so kind of my storage, the front storage compartment, I'm going to take some of this stuff out because I don't want this stuff getting wet. You know, supposedly, you know, these compartments are supposed to be like supposedly dry storage, but water still gets in here, especially if I take it to the car wash. So I don't want these things getting wet and then potentially getting some mold and mildew or whatever. But I'm going to take all this junk out. These are my life vests. So all this stuff I'll take out and I'll just leave it here in the storage while I go wash the stuff. So there are some things I really don't want to get wet, so that's what I have these storage totes for. So those are my inflatable life vests. Definitely don't want those getting wet. So I've got that in there, and then I got a hammer there, and you know, there's already some debris, so I gotta get that cleaned out. So I have this rubber mat in here. Works great, so it kind of keeps that stuff from sliding all over the place. And then I got this one over here, and it's basically the same thing. It's just another storage tote. This one has more stuff in it, and it's a little heavier. So nothing else. There's my battery charger for the two batteries for the trolling motor. And I got some other just miscellaneous junk down there. I honestly probably don't even need that stuff in here. Oh look, there's a spider right there too. I can probably get that stuff out. But yeah, this storage, I got extra, see what I got in here, extra rod holders. I just had extras, I don't really use them for anything. Some bungee cords, extension cord, power converter. I got some jumper cables, extra fillet knives, and blades. So if I'm at the lake and one of my knives breaks on me, I have some spares. So I kind of got that in there. And that stuff, it probably doesn't matter if it gets wet, but I just don't want it, I just want to keep it dry, and I don't want it like running all over the place in that storage. So if I put it in that tote, it doesn't run everywhere. And then in here, I usually use this guy for dry storage. It actually is a live well. Normally I have this on, the plug, or the aerator, or the drain, whatever you want to call it. So this way water doesn't come back up. But it doesn't matter, because on the outside of the boat I do plug the outside hose too, so water doesn't come in here. But I took it off because when I take this to the wash, it's going to get water inside. So I want to make sure that it does drain. And then these back compartments, so same thing under one of these seats. I've got another tote down here. This tote, how did I get this in here? I didn't get it in through there, sorry. I got that guy in here through here. So this is where I keep my battery. This is the battery for the engine. And then this tote, this is my first aid tote. So I got my horn, some Neosporin, band-aids, first aid kit, a whistle, because you're supposed to have a whistle on your boat also. So I kind of have all that stuff in there. Same thing, keep it in the tote so it stays dry. So then that's pretty much everything I take out there. So the only better thing I like about just having the totes is that that's just 1, 2, 3, basically 4 things I take out and I'm done. And then I just have, like I said, the you need to have some toss rings on your boat, and those are actually my drift socks for when I fish for catfish. And that's pretty much all I got. And the other one doesn't have anything. And this one, I use this also for dry storage. It's another live well. And this is everything that I use every day in the morning. This is just like a liner. I usually put this liner down over here. And if ever you see my videos, you'll notice that there's like an ice chest sitting back here. So I have the liner to keep it from rolling back and forth. And I do strap it down on these mounts. But the liner is just to keep the ice chest from moving. So it's basically just that. These are the straps for the ice chest in the front where I put the fish. And these are the straps for the ice chest that I put back here in the back. And then one inflatable life vest, because if ever I get a kid, I want to have one just readily available. And then yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't have much of anything else in here. Same thing with this. I'm going to take this off because once I start cleaning this thing's going to get full of water. So I want to make sure I drain out as much as I can. So just get that guy off. I don't care if that stuff gets wet. That's not really a big deal. That's just a towel. So I don't care if that stuff gets wet. So yeah, I'll just put this stuff away, and I think that's it. This ice chest, I'll just leave it. I just got to close it, but I'll try and clean the outside as best as I can, but water does tend to get in here as well. So I don't really want to have to empty the whole thing. So hopefully just as I'm spraying the boat, I got to make sure I don't hit this very much, because if I do, water's going to get inside, and then I got to take everything out and dry out the inside. So yeah, that's what we're going to go do. The engine, I'll just spray all this stuff. But yeah, I'll show you the chemicals that I use. So yeah, stay tuned. So yeah guys, if you're wondering how I plug those live wells, there's 2 drains, or actually 2 intakes, drains, whatever the hell you want to call it, but that's one of them. And then the other one I have is here. So this is where it can suck up water and drain it, or maybe it sucks it up from there, I have no idea. But that's some old water that was left in there for probably the last time that I forgot to pull the plug. But yeah, me plugging up those 2 holes, no water backs back up when the boat's on the water. If you don't plug those holes, even if you put those 2 plugs on the inside of those live wells, water will still seep up through it. But if you plug the outside of them, you won't have that problem. Spammers are calling me. All right, so yeah, now I'm done. I'm gonna go clean the boat. All right guys, so this is pretty much what we're gonna use. Hopefully you can hear me pretty well. But yeah, so this is just I use a 2-gallon sprayer, and actually what I'll do is I'll put 1 gallon. I'll put up 1 gallon of that Zep purple degreaser. I'll put that in there, and then I'm going to top off the rest with just some water from the car wash. And then that one's a 1 gallon sprayer, and I'm going to end up putting 4 bottles of the bleach in there. I don't fill it with any more water, or maybe depending on how much there is, maybe I might top off a little bit, but typically I just use that just the way it is. Probably the biggest thing with the Clorox, what I usually would do is I'll wet one side of the boat pretty good with a hose from the car wash, and then I'll spray that Clorox bleach on there. Probably let it sit for like, I don't know, maybe 2 minutes, and then I get the scrub from the car wash, and I'll scrub it down real good, and then I'll spray it clean with the pressure washer, and then I'll go and I'll do the opposite side. When I end up spraying the Zep, so the purple degreaser, what I'll end up doing on this one is usually I'll come through and I'll start spraying the front, and I'll just spray everything down until I get to the back. And once I get to the back, I'll stop, and I'll get the pressure washer, and then I'll start spraying from the front of the boat back down to the back of the boat. The good thing with the Zep one is that you don't need a scrubber to scrub any of the dirt off. Just simply spray it on, and then with the pressure washer, it's going to take all the dirt and all the grime off, and it's going to turn your boat sparkling white again. So yeah, let me get all this stuff filled up, and I'll start spraying, and yeah, you can kind of see what it looks like when we're done. So stay tuned. Alright guys, so we are done. Let me close my door real quick.
It has the power to run all your apps. It is a much...
Yeah, so we're done. Man, that took me a hell of a lot longer than it normally does. So problem is, I get there and they usually have two coin dispensers. One was out, the other one was working. So I got about, I don't know what I got, maybe about like $9 and change, because I forgot to bring any bills, but I figured that might be enough. Well, the $9 was not enough, so figured no big deal. I actually had a bunch of lottery tickets in my truck I hadn't cashed out, so I walked over to the gas station, which is next door, cashed them out, went back to the car wash, and the other dispenser was now empty, so they're not dispensing any change. But then I still thought, well, that's okay, because the car washes themselves have bill slots, so you can just put bills instead of quarters. Well, none of those were working, so I had to go back to the gas station. They were able to change me out $5. Went back, put the $5, and yeah, then I was able to finish washing the boat. So yeah, it definitely took me a lot longer to do than I was kind of hoping for, but end result, boat ended up coming out pretty good. So it is pretty clean. Got most of the yellow that was off on the sides, so it's not too bad. It's pretty clean. You can see, like, there was a whole yellow line that was right here, and if you really, actually you can't even really see it anymore. I guess if you really look close, you probably could see it. I do have some scuff marks right here. So what this is the bumper that I have up here. When it hangs, when I go on the road, I guess it kept scraping, and I didn't really notice that until it had already done some damage. I'm pretty sure once I wax the boat, I might be able to scuff that out or buff that out. But yeah, but everything got pretty white. I mean, I even went as far as to re-clean the my bumpers, so all those guys are white also. And then the biggest thing is going to be the inside of the boat. So yeah, if you look now, that thing is white as white can get. I mean, it's pretty good. I did the sidewalls. I just noticed I have a little rust stain there, so I gotta make sure I take care of that before that gets any worse. But I mean, I sprayed everything down. I even ended up spraying my noodle, so that's the one of the mounts of where I put my GoPro camera. But yeah, I was able to rewash all the walls, got all the steps, the seats I got pretty clean. There's a stain on the seat there. I couldn't get it off, but I'm pretty sure if I get some sort of chemical, another chemical, I can get it off. But I don't know why it wouldn't come off, but that wouldn't come off. And then down here there was a bunch of black marks. These are now just little scuff marks from whenever I hit this when I'm loading back up. it's no big deal. Probably again maybe when I wax the boat, maybe they'll be able to buff that out. But also cleaned up the trolling motor, so that's all white. So yeah, I mean, it's super bright now, so not too bad. And then the rod holders, all I really do with the rod holders is I just I still spray the liquid on there, but I don't really scrub them. I just spray them and then I just rinse them back off. So yeah, not too bad. But she's looking good. She's all cleaned up. She's ready to go. Now all I gotta do is just finish putting all my stuff back in, and then I am done. So I think if I didn't have to go back and forth with the change, I would have finished a lot sooner than what I had. But oh well. Lesson learned. Next time I'm just gonna probably stop at a bank beforehand and maybe get like 2 rolls, or you know, like $20 worth of quarters, and then whatever I just don't end up using, I can always just put in. We have like a piggy bank at home. So yeah, that's it. All set, all done. Just gotta wrap up putting all my stuff back in. So yeah, see you guys later. Enjoy the video. Bye. All right guys, probably one last thing before I head out. So probably when you do wash, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but me, like anytime I wash the boat, every single compartment I will open up, and I usually get a towel and I'll dry up as much as I can that's on the inside, but I'll open up every single compartment so that this way everything can air dry. So I've got everything open. I even opened up the ice chest, even though I didn't get any water in there. I still want to open up just in case, so I can try and air dry. Probably the only one I'm not opening up is this one here. So this is a storage that's underneath here, but I actually took out the pan when I washed it, so the seat pops up in this whole pan. I've got a bunch of dry storage stuff in there, but that whole thing just kind of pops out. And yeah, so that's kind of how I take care of that thing there. I need to see if you know, I may look to see if maybe they sell some sort of, or maybe I can get some sort of cover that goes over that. I don't know. I might be able to maybe get like some sort of rubber matting that I can just cut that's solid, just so I can kind of just like have a lip going over it, because even the way it is right now, if it rains, water will seep in there. But still, regardless, I opened everything up. So like even that compartment, so the rod holders here, they actually are made with the drains on the bottom, so as water goes inside, on my old boat it would go inside the captain's compartment, but on these it actually just drains out through the bottom. But still, so like no water got in there. I opened it, it's still dry, but still nonetheless I still opened that just to let it air dry. So yeah, so just one last thing to probably check. Doesn't hurt. At least, I mean, I'm fortunate because I'm in a covered storage. If you're washing it, you have your cars kind of like outside, or not your cars, but if you have your boats outside, you probably don't want to leave it open. Might have some critters, you know, trying to go in there. But yeah, so since I do have a covered storage, especially with that, I'll open everything up and just let everything air dry for myself. So cool. That was it, guys. All right, see y'all later. Bye.